Sometimes I think Valve is like another Nintendo, only with greater ambitions. The thing is, when the whole big budget industry is evolving in more or less the same direction, making either single player blockbusters, which is uncommon, or battle royales and free-to-plays, which is not uncommon, Valve decides to go off the beaten path and venture somewhere else. Apparently, trying to hop on the hype train with the collectible card games called Artifact wasn't exactly a great success, so they called it quits and reverted back to what they do best, experimenting with things that hardly any publisher would invest into: virtual reality. My thoughts about Valve's special path is backed up by Steam Deck, a device designed to revolutionize not only the portable console market, but the hardware market in general. By making this kind of gamers, Gabe essentially challenges all the industry's titans, which is brave to say the least. And Alex is one of these daring projects, which the company went all out on, because it is not only a part of an iconic series and thus shapes the reputation of the team, but also shows the most promising direction for interactive art. Unfortunately, however, the sales don't look so good. The game sold more than 2 million copies, but that's not enough for such a title, although for VR platforms these numbers are quite solid. And here's the punchline: the technical features of the latest Half-Life are both a blessing and a curse. After all, besides $60 to buy the game, you also need an extra $1,500 to purchase a headset. The game isn't compatible with other gizmos like Oculus and HTC, as the developers want you to use their own device to get full experience, hence the $1,500. But I was lucky, no headset, yet played the game by successfully begging a friend of mine into sharing his one, so in our case, it was basically one copy per 2 players. However, if you're not as fortunate as I am, you can always find a playthrough on YouTube, or what? Spend a hefty amount of money on a thing that probably won't justify the expense? Not really an option, because, I mean, what is there to play? So you've beaten Alex, now what? A few more worthy titles and that's it? It's best to wait for the technology to become more popular, when it will no longer ask you to splash out. This fact is rather discouraging, but that's why I'm taking my time with the purchase, though I was truly impressed by the experience. In my opinion, Half-Life Alyx is perfect interactive entertainment mixed with genuine art. It's a short story which unfolds in a unique world, that has great characters, rich background, and where the decisions made by the protagonist actually matter. It's not a filler, it's an independent, integral part of the franchise that reassembles the image of the whole Half-Life series, not only in terms of story execution, but also in terms of its technological presentation. Of course, some moments broke my immersion, like when I couldn't pick a brick or a bottle to throw it in the enemy's face. But the masterfully executed segments with Jeff, where you can use the player's nerves to play Vivaldi, or the story bits disguised as safe introductions to new opponents when you can't take damage, but fully feel the looming danger, completely overshadowed the occasional conventionalities by giving you pure thrill, which, by the way, you didn't feel when you were actually playing. Only in between gaming sessions, when I was digesting the experience, did a huge neon sign, "Holy shit," start flashing in my head. And when I got to the finale, the sign just exploded to the fucking kingdom come, because, I mean, how do I explain this without spoilers? When after so many years you reunite with an old friend that you know like yourself, but now under completely new circumstances. God, that feels so good. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps right now by simply recalling these last seconds of the game in my memory. Oh, and that's what Alyx's phenomena is all about. No, not the goosebumps. It's about what the game tells you and how it does that. In a certain sense, if it hadn't come out of this many years since the release of the previous game, the effect wouldn't have been as strong. And here, the peculiarities of the release itself also contributed. If we continue with the cinematic metaphor, I would say that the latest Half-Life is like the third season of David Lynch's Twin Peaks. Just like in our case, the viewers didn't believe their eyes. They waited, they wanted answers, they didn't get shit, and in the end everyone was left ecstatic. Well, almost. Mostly ecstatic. But while Lynch did everything as always used to, only bigger and more mysterious, Gabe and his team did everything in a brand new way, while preserving the core that was created back in 1998. Alyx is a game made in compliance with all the principles of Valve, but on the basis of a still little known technical innovation. It is a pioneer, if you will, who in some way lays the tracks for the whole industry. How to move around without sacrificing the dynamics, how to interact with the world, how to protect the player from the furniture in his own living room without losing the immersion. Many issues have still to be solved for the VR to become mainstream, and resolving them potentially means spending huge amounts of money. That's why the only people willing to thread this path are indie enthusiasts and daredevils like Gabe Newell and his team. The phenomenon of 2020's Half-Life isn't about its impact on the player, nor about its great story, its distinct art and level design, its excellent sound and memorable characters. I mean, it's all true, but none of it is new. What's phenomenal is that Valve have managed to find a way to keep all these elements while giving the game a whole new level of interactivity. So the phenomenon here is addressed more to the industry than to the plate. It's as if the developers are saying, and that's how it's done, boys. Watch and learn. Make games like this one. We showed you how, so go for it. There will always be a player, because right now we really lack this type of games. To be honest, for a long time, the thought of virtual reality being the future of the gaming industry made me cringe. But after Alex, I started thinking about it in all seriousness, because I've never experienced a better immersion, and I doubt that a game with better immersion even exists. The experience is truly a new word in the industry, which ironically was said by the game series with one of the most silent protagonists. But we can assess the phenomenality of a product only by how it affects the market, right? Well, in that sense, Valve's latest creation is yet to make its full impact. So, we wait. But should we expect the third part to be VR as well? Hard to say. Most likely yes, but not in the near future. The market for VR products is constantly growing, headsets are constantly evolving, and their cost is slowly but steadily going down. Moment, the VR gaming isn't a mass phenomenon, which makes releasing such an important title on PC dangerous, and for Valve, it may even be pointless. When you've done something truly new and unique, it would seem strange to go back to the old school. According to Keighley, they started developing the long-awaited third part 5 times since 2007. You can see how much of a responsibility this is for the company just by looking at this photo of David Sparer. The photo was taken the moment David was assigned as the team lead that would be coordinating the development of Half-Life 3. That was back in 2013. As you can probably tell, the man in the picture knew from the very start that the venture would never come to fruition. At the same time, damn, we had been waiting for 13 years and our wait has been rewarded. So, if something similar, only bigger and cooler, requires some more wait, we'll wait. Throughout this video, I mentioned Valve's unspoken rules multiple times. Them being flawless optimization, innovations, and the synergy of story and gameplay. And concluding the whole video, I'd like to bring your attention to this once more, because the phenomenality of Half-Life lies not as much in the games as in the developers, whose ranks have been reshuffled multiple times since the release of the original, and yet these guys are still capable of incredible things. In a certain sense, Alex was made to prove that Valve still got it in them. Well, it sure has done its job, just as a quarter of a century ago. Gabe's team is still a group of enthusiasts who have great passion for what they do, and you know, if these people tell me, of course we'll have to wait and see how people react to Half-Life Alyx once it's out, but we'd love to continue pushing forward. Then, all I can do is support them and wait patiently, hoping for the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe for more quality content. Hope you loved today's video. If so, smash that like button and let us know in the comments. Also, feel free to share it with your friends. Anyway, see you in the next video. Stay tuned.